everybody, it's the War Hipster here, coming at you with another Contrast Plus painting tutorial from the Mortal Realms. Yes, we are back once more with Disciples of Tzeentch, and yes, we are painting the all-new Fatemaster of Tzeentch that Games Workshop very kindly sent me early to build up and paint with all of you, and that's exactly what we are going to do today. I really like this model, something about it. I think it's just very cool. Something about it. Anyway, we're going to jump in and we're going to start painting it. So, it's been primed in grey Seer, and the colour we're going to be using first is Akhelian Green. And we're going to be applying this Akhelian Green over the top of all of our Fatemaster's armour. Now, there is a little bit more sort of bluey, greeny stuff going on in the form of the bird and things like that, but we're going to sort of tackle this a little bit in sections just to sort of make things a little bit easier on ourselves, rather than try and do it all at once, so we'll quite easily get lost doing it that way. And we've accidentally left a little blob of Akhelian Green there, so we're just going to wash the brush, get rid of the water, and then towards the belly of the brush we're just going to wipe that off. It'll leave a little line behind. That's okay. We can just easily correct that with some grey Seer later. Anyway, on with the rest of the armour. So with all that Akhelian Green applied, don't worry if it's a bit patchy, we are going to fix it a little bit later. What we're going to do now is we're going to take some Black Legion. We're going to apply this to the top of the outside of the cloak and over the top of the sort of headrest, or headdress, not a headrest, not in a vehicle. But what we're also going to do is on the front of the sort of headgear, the sort of the high collar, there is a bit of trim. We're going to be applying this over the top of that as well. So with that all done, it's time to get a little bit messy. We're going to work on the bird. I'm going to use three colours to do this: Asurmen Blue, Blood Angels Red, and Luxion Purple. And we're going to be using this all over the bird as a kind of like mixing on the model type thing. So what we're going to do is we're going to start with the Asurmen Blue. I'm going to just take this like a section of bird at a time. And we're going to start up here on the feathers. I'm going to bring this all the way down, like so. A little bit more, just to get us there. Like that. Because we definitely overlapped there, we're just going to do the inside track as well. There we go. Then what we're going to do is wash the brush, grab some Blood Angels Red, and towards the base of the feathers we're going to apply this Blood Angels Red, like so. Same on the inside track. Like that. And then wash the brush, grab a little bit of Luxion Purple, and towards the end we're going to apply the purple. Just like that. Then what we do is we wash the brush, and then we use a clean brush to just soften out these transitions just a little bit. like that sort of thing. And then we just do the same thing across, well, the rest of the bird. So we go back to Asurmen Blue. We'll do this feather now. So all that now applied to the bird, what we're going to do is going to take some Gryph-Charger Grey. We're going to apply this over top of the haft of the weapon. Whilst we wait for that Gryph-Charger Grey to dry, we're going to take some Reikland Fleshshade and we're going to apply this over top of the skin. And so with that now done, what we're going to do is we're going to take a roughly 1-to-1 mix of Lahmian Medium and Tyran Blue. And we're going to apply this over the top of the inside of the cloak, like that sort of thing. However, we are also going to use this over the top of the armour as well, just to bring it down just a little bit and add a little bit more richness to it. And with that all done, we are then going to take some black Templar and we're going to apply this over top of the staff. And so with that now done, we're going to take some Skeleton Horde. I'm going to apply this over top of the horns. And there's a little parchment roll on the back of the Fatemaster. And we're also going to apply this over the top of. So with that all done, we're then going to take some thinned down Iron Hands Steel. And we're going to apply this over top of the blade. And we're going to apply this over top of the scale mail. And with all that Iron Hand Steel applied, we're then going to take some thinned down Retributor Armour. And we're going to apply this over top of all of our remaining details. So with that all done, it's now time to add some shades. And we're going to start with 2 at the same time. It's a little bit complicated, but trust me. So the 2 shades we're going to be using first are Coelia Greenshade and Druchii Violet. And the reason we're using them both at the same time is because we're going to use them both at the same time on the blade. But before we do that, what we're going to do is we're going to take some Druchii Violet. And we're going to use this to shade the scale mail just in here. Like so. And what we're also going to do is we're going to use the Coelia Greenshade on its own to shade the black. So we wash the brush and grab that Coelia Greenshade and apply this over top of the black of the cloak. Just like this. Now we should finish that really, so we're going to do that. Rather than leave it half done. But for our blades, because there are 2 technically, there's the one at the base of the blade and at the obviously the big blade itself as well. So there we go. Got all of that Coelia Greenshade on. Nice. Alright, so what we're going to do next is wash the brush. And we're going to start with Druchii Violet. And over the top of this bottom one, we're just going to apply the Druchii Violet like this. Not going to do any blending or any mixing or anything. This just bottom bit here is going to be Druchii Violet. Like that. Then, on the big blade, towards the base of it, we're going to apply the Druchii Violet. Like so. And we're going to bring it up to around about there. Like that. Then, we wash the brush, grab some Coelia Greenshade, and we apply this over the top of the blade, and we just mix it in to that Druchii Violet, so it kind of comes down and changes colour around about the halfway point. Just going to wick away that little bit of dust. What we can always do is just go back and grab a little bit of Druchii Violet. I think we got it now. Just to sort that out just a little bit, like so. And then of course we're going to replicate that on the other side. So we start with the Druchii Violet, apply this, wash brush, grab that Coelia Greenshade, and apply this. Like so. So we've applied a bit of Druchii Violet over the top of this central kind of fiery bit in the belt. But what we're also going to do now is we're going to take some Reikland Fleshshade and we're going to use this to shade all of the rest of the gold. So with that all done, our Fatemaster is now what I would call a War Hipster battle ready. And it's looking pretty good. However, we are not going to leave it there, of course not. No, we're going to take it to the next level. I'm going to do this by adding some layers and some highlights. Now the first of these is going to be a layer. This is going to be our sort of corrective layer slash glaze layer for all of the armour. And what we're going to do is we're going to take some Thousand Suns Blue. And we're going to thin it down, so roughly 3 or 4 parts water, to make it just a little bit more runny, a bit more of a glaze consistency. And we're just going to use this over the top of all of that, well, for lack of a better word, Thousand Suns Blue armour. So with that Thousand Suns Blue applied, we're now going to take some thinned down Temple Guard Blue. I'm going to use this to highlight all of the armour. So with all of that Temple Guard Blue applied, we're then going to take some thinned down Lothern Blue, and we're going to use this to add some little spot highlights to the sharpest points in all of the blue armour. But what we're also going to do with the Lothern Blue is we're going to use this to highlight the blue parts of our bird. So with that all done, we're then going to take some thinned down Evil Sunz Scarlet. And we're going to use this to add just some little highlights to the red parts of our feathers. And with that Evil Sunz Scarlet applied, we then take a teensy tiny little bit of Kislev Flesh. And we use this to just add some little spot highlights to the sharpest points. Just like that sort of thing. So with that all done, it's now time to move on. And we're going to move on to all of the, well, not all of the black, just the black cloth. And what we're going to do is we're going to start by taking some thinned down Thunderhawk Blue. I'm going to use this to highlight, well, the cloak, the bit of black on the chain mail, or scale mail, and of course the headgear, neck gear, whatever we're calling it. I've already forgotten. And so with that all done, we're then going to take some thinned down Fenrisian Grey. I'm going to use this to add some little spot highlights to the sharpest points. So with that all done, we're now going to take some thinned down Corax White. And we're going to use this to highlight our white. So with that all done, we're now going to take some Briar Queen Chill. Not very much of this at all. And we're going to run this inside the runes on the staff. And so with that all done, we're then going to take some thinned down Ironbreaker. I'm going to use this to highlight all the silver. And so with that all done, we then take some thinned down Liberator Gold. I'm going to use this to highlight all of the gold. So with that all done, we've just got a couple of gems to do. And the first thing we're going to do for them is we're going to take some Yriel Yellow. We're going to apply this over top of this eye ball in the tummy. And there's a little tiny one up there as well. And just whilst we wait for that to dry, we're going to take a little bit of Blood Angel's Red. I'm going to apply this over top of the gem in the chest. And so to finish off our Fatemaster, we're going to take a teensy tiny little bit of Black Legion. And we're going to apply this as a little pupil in the middle of that eye on the tummy. And so, with the base now complete, in the usual thing that we normally do, bit of Stolen Mud, dry brush with Tyrant Skull, a couple of tufts from Gamer's Grass to finish things off, our Fatemaster is now finished. I quite like the model. I think it's very, very nice. We do now have 2-foot characters that are kind of vaguely pointing things. This is this one and the Curseling as well. So maybe next time out, Disciples of Tzeentch will get a bit more. But this one's pretty cool. If you enjoyed this video, you love the channel and you'd like to support me further, you absolutely can do so by heading to patreon.com/warhipster, just like all of these wonderful, amazing people have done. And alternatively, you could become a YouTube channel member by clicking on the join button below, exactly like these fabulous folks have done scrolling up on the screen before you. There are so many of you out there that it really takes my breath away, and I cannot thank you enough for everything you do, as without you I wouldn't be able to keep making these Contrast Plus videos. And if you really like this video and you want to send me a little thanks, just click on the thanks button just below this video. Don't forget to share it, like it, comment on it, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and to make sure you stay up to date, don't forget to click the bell icon. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all very soon in the next one. Happy wargaming.